We're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chronicles of Divastara. I am William, or Shawnee, and I am your game master for this D&D 5e campaign. And joining me today, we have Yare.
Hi, I'm Yare. I'm playing Morgan Thompson, the Oath of Sacrifice Paladin, the People's Paladin.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Astra, who is a Gepetan Warlock.
And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Molly Malone Clemens, who is a human time-traveling investigator.
And the Zodiac System.
Hi, I'm Julia of the Zodiac System, and we are playing Ygraine Bone Chewer, the Hexblood Witch.
And Drevian.
I'm Drevian. I'm playing Ingrid von Ryder, an undead rogue.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. Fuck ICE in general. Call your payment processors. In particular, Discord has decided that their next goal is to try and force age verification upon everyone in Discord in the next month or so. So make your voices known on that one if you don't like your information being handed out to whoever might be able to grab it off the internet. And yeah, call everyone, because again, voice, the only way that things change is if your voices are heard.
This also goes in the UK, because dear God, shit's going down here too.
I didn't specify a country.
Yep, just saying. I know, but
well, we learned it from somewhere.
No, we got it from you kids.
It's
circled back.
It's a back and forth. Yeah.
Listen, at least I'm not going to go there.
No,
go right ahead.
No. There are certain people's names that don't need to be mentioned on this.
Understood.
But when last we left off, the party had worked with Sinan of the Ironclad to devise a plan that would sufficiently allow the Ironclad clan. I keep trying to figure out what word to use to describe like these nomadic camps. Clan is the word that I should be using.
Tribes also works.
Yeah, tribe kind of in English, tribe has kind of a connotation to it that I'm not aiming for with these particular groups.
Fair enough.
But yeah, clan I think is the appropriate term. And the group was able to come up with the plan of having completely unfamiliar people who have never used the traditional weapons of the steppes and or the firearms used by the Ironclad, learn them in as short of amount of time as possible and determine who had the greatest improvement among the two. This proved to be a boon to the party because two individuals got to learn to use weapons that they did not previously know how to use, in that Ygraine was taught the use of the longbow and short bow by why am I forgetting his name? Killian, thank you. ADHD will do that to you. Thank you, people who take notes. By Killian of the leader of the nation of the meritocracy of Vorst, while Morgan was taught the use of firearms by Sive of your own party.
I was really hoping you were going to say it was Astra that learned how to use the firearm, just to see how far the dog is thrown by the recoil.
But the group was able to perform this test, and the superior efficacy of size, teaching style, and the simplicity of learning a firearm won out, causing the final task to be one that Killian failed at and Sive succeeded at, which essentially forcibly puts the question of the efficacy and fitness of the Ironclad among the people of Vorst. Basically, solving the question and determining that yes, the Ironclad are a worthy clan to exist on the steppe, and their practices and methods are indeed worthwhile. There was much celebration to be had, wherein some conversations were had between people all over. Although I believe there is still a conversation that needs to be had at the beginning of this. I believe Morgan wanted to have a chat with Sive at one point. If I'm recalling correctly.
Oh no, she was gonna try and flirt with Sive at the party, but I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Between,
Yeah,
you're great. No offense.
No, none taken. I am the one who will flirt with anyone, no matter who their player is.
Yeah. Understandable.
But with that done, the group made plans on where next to proceed. Current destination being the Hitori Monastery on the southern end of the west side of the continent. Seeking out potential allies, with the implication being from Soria that the keeper of the Hitori Monastery is more isolationist than anything else, and is more likely than most to be convinced to assist if the right words can be used. With that said, unless anyone has any scenes they need to accomplish the evening before, we resume the next morning, as all are recovering from the parties and the events of the night previous, and preparations are being made for the Nidhogg to begin its trek down the continent.
Remind me again.
No.
How many
Go ahead.
days journey is it?
Let me
Where
double
we at?
check. The Nidhogg. I know I had a sheet for the Nidhogg, but I may not have filled it out entirely.
It's gonna be a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I just
Is it how long? How much is the hex again? Is it a day or is it?
It's. I believe it is 3 hexes a day, if I'm recalling.
So it's about a week.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah. So you will all get a bastion turn by the time you arrive at the monastery. Yeah. Alsana sort of convenes over the intercom system that exists within the Nidhogg. Is everyone ready to move on? And do we have our destination firmly locked in place?
Sounds like it. Hitori Monastery.
Well, if there are no objections, I will set the course. According to the world map that we have, it's far to the southeast.
Set course.
We will begin. We'll be going for a while, so be set in for a long time. There's a momentary pause. Wait a moment before we leave. There is a black-robed individual approaching who I can only assume recognizes this vehicle.
Probably the person we got the vehicle from.
Or one of the people that person asked us to keep an eye out for.
All right. So the voice of the DM said, the voice of the world says it's someone else, so it's someone else.
You would... All of you, having met them more than once, would recognize if it was Tar Valdrin.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. I just heard person in black outside. We haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
Unless stopped, Morgan will make the way out.
Yeah, so you make your way out the door. And yeah, there is a woman, long black hair, human, definitely, at least by appearance. These faint, like, tear-like tattoos that sort of drain down the sides of her face. Black robes, adorned with like small accessories made of bone. The robes concealing the vast majority of their physicality. As they approach, they definitely stand out from among the crowd of the people native to the meritocracy, who tend to part in their presence as they approach.
Don't suppose I can help you?
Well, you pilot a gauntlet runner that was initially the possession of my former master. Since the upheaval, I have been attempting to make my way home. I am wondering if you might be able to assist in that.
Funnily enough, this is something we were actually asked to do if we spotted anyone from the Necromancer's Tower. So, if that's where you're heading, we can run by that as we're making our way past. Hop on.
I appreciate it. I am known as Talia.
Morgan, nice to meet you. I'll introduce you to the rest when we're in.
Yeah, she'll follow you aboard the vehicle.
As she gets over the comms. Turns out we actually got another stowaway. Talia here is from the Necromancer's Tower and actually wants a ride home. So I suppose we can do a quick detour on the way past.
I have no objections.
Fine by me.
Alsana will chime in. It's certainly not out of the way. It would be a very brief deviation.
Cool. I'll be in my room.
The slight sigh by Morgan. Right then. In that case, make yourself comfortable. I'll show you where the quarters are.
I appreciate it. In the meantime, I serve as something of an apothecary. If you have need of alchemical concoctions, let me know.
That would actually be quite useful. We have a few people working on things around here, but someone with a more specialist knowledge might be of hand. If I remember correctly, both Astra and Ingrid are both have apothecaries going.
Poison Gardens, yes.
Poison Gardens.
Poison Gardens, right. I mean, also useful. Does anyone have an apothecary going?
There's not at the moment. That's a higher level facility.
Yep.
But for the duration that she is on your ship, she will improve the output of your gardens. Which is to say, by the next Bastion turn, you're actually going to produce 2 of whatever you were producing instead of 1.
Let's go.
I will actually push back against the notion of...
If you don't want her to help you, that's fine, yeah.
Look, someone is racist against wizards.
To be fair, she's an apothecary, not necessarily a wizard.
She's associated with the Necromancer's Tower.
Now
Wouldn't
who's
it be
stereotyping?
classist?
Now who's stereotyping?
100% it's stereotyping. I am out of character acknowledging that fact.
So she will instead double the output of Ingrid's garden then, specifically.
Don't get me wrong, as cool as it would be to have lots more
He's got a
poison.
character. Get it?
Oh man.
Yeah. So, the first day, I need someone to roll me a D100 to determine if the thing that is going to happen
On
happens
it.
before or after you get.
Damn it.
Trivia beat you to it.
Drev is like, no, don't let Jeremy roll. Don't let Jeremy roll.
No, normally
Fair
I
point.
would. Normally I would because that makes for a more interesting story.
Failure means character development.
Hmm.
With a 98, I will let you know that the thing that was going to happen is delayed, but not averted. So you'll find out what that is later.
You had to roll 120 on a D100 for it to...
So that will theoretically come up later.
We've pissed off a kraken and is now following us out of the lake.
But yeah, on the second day, you do arrive at the Necromancer's Tower, and the handful of passengers that you have retrieved from the tower are able to return. As they do, Tarvoldrin is there to greet you as the Nidhogg arrives back in the vicinity of the Necromancer's Tower. As Talia and the others who had been brought aboard return home, Tarvoldrin greets the group of you, and her raspy, unnaturally echoey voice kind of. So, how goes your particular quests? I hope your vehicle serves you well.
Very well, thank you.
I am glad to see that my faith in you has been rewarded, and that some of my own have been returned, those who wished to come back. Should any more be located, please, should they wish to return to the tower, with all due haste. I am not asking you to divert from any tasks you may otherwise be pressed upon, but I worry for my people in the outside world that has thus far proven less than accepting of my folk.
As before, you have our word and we are happy to serve it.
And if there is any news that you might be curious about from within the 12 towers, I may be able to provide.
Molly's gonna look around like, guys,
I mean,
gossip?
knowing if anything noteworthy's happened is useful.
Oh, but what she considers noteworthy and what we consider noteworthy may be two different things.
Do you just ask if anything noteworthy has happened?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You may be pleased or curious or perhaps even amused to note that Caius the Transmuter's tower has fallen under a bit of a challenging experience, as seemingly frustrated and aggressive forces from the kingdom of Volkir have recently been seen probing the outskirts of the territory on the north end of the 12 towers, unwilling to approach the towers of abjuration or conjuration. The forces of Volkir instead skirt to the west around the Tower of Transmutation. Caius, he is something of an ornery old bat and does not take kindly to forces of other nations tromping through his land. The confrontation is something of a standstill at the moment. The rest of the 12 wait to see if anything of note occurs. I have
Morgan
I have a
desperately trying to hold back a smirk.
I have a suspicion this might have something to do with you all, but will not pry.
I
Can
do
Morgan
have a
insight to
question.
see how she's like? It's like she has a hunch, but like, is that a I'm doing this out of kindness, or is she like actually kind of impressed?
Well,
Roll insight.
Just trying to get the vibe. It's like, how much can I trust you here?
I mean,
It
when you
does-
throw a stone into a pond, you can't help where it ripples out.
14.
She seems amused. You're not certain if that's because she thinks that's not gonna work, or if it's because she's just happy that Caius is getting his shit kicked in.
Okay.
You're not certain. Like, trust, hard to gauge. You do not get the sense that she dislikes what you have done.
Okay.
I will ask her if the 12 Towers has a mutual defense pact, or if Caius is left to his own devices. Then, if they do attack,
There is nothing quite so official. The relationship between each of the towers is independent of each other. We try to maintain as amicable terms as possible that we might call on each other's aid when necessary, but there is no contract demanding such. To that end, Caius is not exactly one who makes friends easily, and is the least likely to receive support should he call for it, at least not without significant compensation to those who are lending their hand. The 12 Towers are, above all else, independent city-states in loose coalition with one another, rather than defensive pact.
so
Good
Caius
to know.
might have a problem if Volkir does go on the offensive.
Oh, he most certainly would. He certainly won't be counting on any support from my tower.
Does he have friends in other towers?
It's my understanding that the enchanter is amicable with Caius, and the abjurer tolerates his presence.
Fucking
I don't really know that anyone considers him a friend.
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean they won't jump to help.
It actually might mean they leave him be if Tavaldrin here isn't going to step in. Some others might not either.
Maybe. It's a big maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine some others might be convinced to assist with proper incentives from Caius. Favors, assistance, items.
All depends.
Few would do it out of the kindness of their heart.
Comment.
Which would also means if Volkir just goes in very quickly before Caius can make those deals.
Then he'll have little time, yes.
Unless
Either way, that's a problem for Caius, not we don't really have anything to do with that, do we?
As I said, I will not pry.
And like I said, throw a stone into water and it ripples out. Who knows what happens?
I will not hold you any further, and if you have any further questions, feel free to ask, but I will not keep you.
Thank you for your time and for the information. And for the ship.
I see it as doing far better in your hands than it would ever do simply wasting away in mine.
Appreciate that.
Good fortune to all of you. I look
All the
forward to
best to
hearing
you and yours.
tales when next we meet.
Perhaps.
So, you continue on your way.
Morgan is going to ask. I'm assuming Soria has been making herself very scarce. That with even around Tarvoldrin.
Pretty much.
Morgan's going to try and get a lay with between Soria and Tarvoldrin, how they get along, whether she could whether the necromancer is trustworthy enough to let it on some things next time we're around.
If you ask Soria about that possibility, she's like, Tarvoldrin is complicated and yet straightforward at the same time. Brutally honest, as death always is. But inevitably in for the care and protection of her own people. She will typically take no risk that puts anything of her domain, her people, her friends, her family, the population around the tower at risk. Whether that makes her trustworthy or whether that makes her a liability, if pressed, she will do whatever is necessary to protect her people. This was true even before she established the tower.
All right.
I can tell you a famous story, me being a storyteller and a bard.
Go right ahead.
There was a time when the forces of the giant king Cathraxus marched upon the duchies to the south. They stomped and crashed their way through all defenses. There was none that could stop them. And yet, to those with the eagle eye to see the path of the giants march, they seemed to break like tide waters around a single small village. In that village, a group of individuals served under then a young and significantly more fleshly Tarvoldrin, who, using her mastery of the necromantic arts, raised not only the long dead of her village to stand in defense of the village itself, but also the dead of any of the giants who fell in any assaults they made. The defense of her town was such and replenished itself so swiftly from the bodies of the fallen that it became more prudent for the giants to simply move around her. Because once they ceased to attack her home and simply parted ways and proceeded beyond, she did not send her armies of undead to pursue. Her only concern was ensuring the well-being of those who lived under her care. But even armies of giants dare not trample upon the city of bones.
Good to know. Good to know. I have to think about that one then. Thank you for the help. Thank you for the insight.
I am full of such tales, if you're ever looking for an entertaining story.
I mean, you don't have to wait for me to ask. She smirks.
No. If something relevant comes to mind, I'm sure I'll suggest it.
Of course. Yeah, and Morgan will go back to whatever they're doing.
It is on the fourth day of your journey that Ingrid, as you sort of like look off to the west as the gauntlet runner is continuously in motion, you come to realize that you're just about near where you woke up in the wilds, on the border. You were essentially just across the river lake, across the rivers and lakes that form this eastern barrier of the kleptocracy of Nox from the nation itself when you woke up in the shadow of an old tree.
Am I able to tell more specifically where it's at?
If you were to stop and go for a walk, you might be able to locate the exact tree itself. That might imply an amount of danger. We are in the anarchic wilds, and things that stop for too long tend to have run into trouble, but you could find it.
I'll have a sauna stuff for a moment.
All right. The rest of you, the gauntlet runner comes to a slow halt in somewhere in the midst of the wilds.
And I'll find she was just talking.
Morgan or Soria?
Soria. And ask her what she knows of this area, as I'm like bring her to the deck and ask her what she knows of this area, and looking to see if I can spot the most likely area for the tree.
Go ahead and roll me survival. And as you roll that, Soria kind of looks around.
So a 13.
13. This with a 13, you think you could probably find it, but you don't think you could find it before something found you. If you had rolled significantly higher, you might have been able to get in and out before being caught by something, but you don't think you will be able to find it fast enough before some of the nature of the wilds decides to attack. But as you ask that, Soria, this was once the royal gardens. Well, the royal forests outside the kingdom that was once known as Noctis. These forests were well protected. The royal family sought to preserve them, to keep the balance of nature well and thriving, to ensure that the people of their kingdom ever and always had access to the bounties of nature, preventing too much logging and damage to be done to the environment, lest precious herbs and materials necessary for the creations of medicines and alchemy be lost to production. A careful balance to be preserved by the royal family and their advisors. The shadow of Nox, well, eventually came for their for their treasures, for their wealth. And as you can see, as she sort of waves, and you can see immediately, like across the lakes and rivers, the tree line immediately chops off, and you can see like just open area where there's just open logging camps immediately across the lakes and rivers. And as you can see, had not as much care for the environment and the wildlife as the previous rulers.
I mean, that's not surprising when it's just take what you can get for Nox, no matter the cost. I ask because this is where I woke up. One of these trees is that I woke up in the shade of. It'd be risky for me to find this specific spot, but
Hard to say. Time being what it is, it's impossible to know whether that's because you died here recently or because you were once a member of Noctis. Who's to say?
something to ponder. I'll look another moment before going back and telling Alsana to carry on.
Mm-hmm. You got 2 more days before you are scheduled to arrive at the monastery. Is there any conversations or plans that need to be made?
This is me as a character, me as a player. What is our plan of action once we reach the monastery?
I don't know that we have one.
Maybe we should discuss that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't know a ton about the monastery. Sori said a little bit, not huge amounts, and maybe get a little more information off her. Just get an idea.
Information of who? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Said maybe get a little information off of Soria about the monastery because we don't know a ton about this place. Apart from they're likely not to do anything unless pushed.
Is Soria with us?
Yep.
Yeah.
Soria, what can you tell us about the monastery? How should we approach?
Well, the mistress of the monastery, strictly speaking, I don't think actually hails from this world, at least not as we know it. She's not a being I've ever seen before. I'll put it like that. I would almost call her an elf, but it's wrong to say that.
Isekai tag.
What?
The Chronicles of Divastara gets the Isekai tag.
No.
Turns out she's from Ishgard.
But she seeks perfection at the cost of all worldly attachment, which is perhaps how the monastery came to be in the place that it is. It's less that she was particularly part of anything that came to be, and more that she gathered those that survived and created a monastery that was unassailable and just maintained.
So it kind of formed with her as the epicenter, is what you're saying.
Okay.
It kind of.
So no worries about her being a part of the problem at all.
I mean, in the extent that she did nothing about it and
Yeah,
didn't
that's
really seem to get
just
in the
as
way.
bad.
I
Yeah,
disagree. That's
choosing-
being just as bad. She gathered people who are poo. She might not have
choosing-
been able or knew about this.
Okay. How about, and I know this is a lot to ask, and I know this is also weird coming from me. Maybe we withhold our judgment until we see what's actually going on.
Oh no, I'm just trying to get an idea.
No, obviously,
I'm not
yeah,
locked in.
we need some kind of
No, that
idea.
was towards me.
We need some kind of that. I was not trying to point fingers.
No, you didn't have to. I pointed the finger at myself by the fact that I openly judged this person
Okay,
right
you're-
off the bat.
you're not wrong, and if what you said is true, then yes, sticking your head in the sand and ignoring shit that's bad shit that's happening, might as well be complicit. But we don't have. I'm all about information. We don't have enough information to make a ruling on that. So here's my other question: how do we? I asked, how do we approach? Like, do we need to send like carrier pigeon? Do we send like smoke signals? Do we like send a psychic message? Like what? Like how? I know besides the big like fucking machine, that we're traveling in, there must be some way of alerting our presence and following some kind of standard protocol.
If I know Grand Mistress Fauna, it's simply a matter of knocking.
Good to know.
Otherwise, just be respectful and it'll get us decently far. Hopefully.
I just, whenever you're. I know we all have a habit of, with probably the exception of Morgan, of starting shit, whether on purpose or not.
I don't start shit.
You finish it. Yes, I know.
No, I don't really do that either. Not yet. I'm not powerful enough to. Give me time.
We're all.
Yeah, it is more
there's-
fun to maintain it.
Stirring the shit.
I am just saying, I am no stranger to provocation.
Not for lack of trying, but no, I don't finish it yet.
Anyway, this is what I get for trying to be a voice of reason.
No, we're all agreeing with you.
I know. No, that was more that was Molly like talking to herself. Like the whole thing is like, if I'm the voice of reason, we're all in like big trouble. Like, because she, she provokes and she prods and she like, she tries to upset the status quo. Like that's what she does. And here she's like, maybe let's not do that.
But it's fun. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm not denying it's not fun. I'm just also saying sometimes. Oh no, you won't get that saying either. Never mind.
But yes,
It's okay. We don't understand anything that comes out of your mouth.
But yes,
That much is clear.
just
You were saying, sorry.
from my experience, approaching without malice and simply asking for entry will at least get us in the door. I don't know if it'll get us an audience with Fauna, but it'll get us out of the wilds.
This is true.
And that's the first hurdle, I guess.
We can earn the audience as we need to, but getting in the door and somewhere safe, we take that. If they're willing to be hospitable.
And even if they're not, we can work with that too.
Sure.
I have this whole thing.
I bet.
No, you missed the motion that I did with my hands. First you don't succeed, just rewind the bitch and try again.
That is an awful strategy.
I mean, weird
I didn't
ways
say it was a good one.
I mean, it worked. It worked and worse. I'm just somehow.
Still
Don't
one
save
of my
until you get the
favorite.
desired result.
Still confusing, but
Still
yeah,
one of my favorite moments.
very dumb, very fun.
What do you mean again? This is the first time I've done it. Yeah, that's what you think.
But yes, if it's that simple, at least to get in the door, let's not cause issues where we don't need to.
Yeah, let's get in the door and, like somebody said, get in the door and out of the wilds.
Exactly.
I will be the perfect angel that I always am.
Which to say you won't be.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Then pull the cotton out of your ears.
In fairness, I have never started shit with any of the people in charge.
Only because you know you die.
Only because you're not powerful enough yet.
I didn't disagree with that. I'm not saying why I don't. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, what do you want? A trophy for restraint?
Do you have one?
No, I don't.
Okay. Because if you do, I would love it because then I can use it to bash someone's head in when I do get powerful enough.
And kill them with the irony?
No, it's fine. It can be pewter. It can be stainless steel. I'm not picky. I hate myself so much.
So fucking good.
Well played, well
I
played.
hate myself.
Somebody mark this. Somebody mark
Flip it.
this.
Flip it.
Nobody tell Craig.
Somebody
Oh no,
mark
Flip it.
I'm
this.
posting it and tagging Craig.
Somebody mark this.
It was right there. I couldn't not say it.
This is no. I love that I provoked it. I'm like, it's like I got them to say the thing. I got them to say the thing.
Oh, holy shit.
I turned into Shinji for a second there.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
Right.
With that bombshell.
Anyway, back in character. With that being said, while we're talking about one leader, Tarvoldrin. She definitely has a hunch we did something. I don't know if she knows or not.
Probably.
I mean,
More credit if she's worked out we've pissed off Wolkier.
Are you saying there's a problem we're going to have to deal with at some point?
Oh, no. I actually... It's not full trust. But between that and what Soria gave me and told me, I think she might be a little more trustworthy than some of the others.
Are we going to have to start yelling again?
I'm getting opinions right now.
I don't think there's anything to necessarily be worried about right now. I didn't get that vibe. That being said, I mean, she still is one of the 12 towers. So just as easily she can spread information to us, she can spread it to someone else.
She can. But she seems to be fairly happy to stick to her own if absolutely need be.
Yeah, but you want to be wary of people who are so easy to tell you things because then they can just as easily be that for somebody else.
No, absolutely. I'm not saying full trust here at the moment,
No, I mean,
but
never fully trust anyone.
this might be someone who might be somewhat safe to ask about the whole situation with, because her main goal does seem to be protecting her people.
Well, let's see what we find out at the monastery
Yes.
before we decide.
I mean, I want to get
To-
to know. I want to get to know her generally better before we make decisions. But from what I've heard,
Alliances with any tower. I think I've said this before. I'm okay with. Well, I'm not okay with, but I will probably eventually relent on anything else. We can use, now to be clear, we can use them for information or shit.
yeah, alliances are
I-
tricky.
I just think you're looking at possible powerful allies if we just look at an entire country.
Okay.
Well, we have to be specific on that. Are they an entire country, or are they 12 separate countries? Because
One country with 12 smaller states within them, I guess, or whatever. But if we just look at the entirety of 12 towers on principle, when they aren't monolithic in this case.
monolithic, vaguely, other than the fact that there are 3 towers who still give marching orders to the rest.
Yes, and we can deal with that as it comes, but they're all separate to some extent. I just think we can, if it's just information, that's fine, but I think, at least with Talvolgin right now, because it's the one we've been closest with, there might be a chance of. I think there might be some safety with her. But I'm not willing to lock that in.
Again, this is as a player and as a character. I admire your faith in people, and that's not a bad thing. However, we're not in a position to be totally trusting with anyone. Now, that's not to say we can't have friendships. We can trade information. We can have, we can help people out. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the complete faith in anything, any one tower, any one state, any one leader is honestly not advisable. We're not in a we're not in
an opinion I was looking for.
I'm not in a position. Sorry. I'm not in a we are just unfortunately not in a position. We just found out not long ago that basically everything we know is a lie, including the time in which we thought existed. That's a bigger knot to untie than we can't exactly add I wouldn't be comfortable in adding any part of the 12 towers who have fed into this lie. I wouldn't be comfortable with trusting them with any potential damaging information to our to our missive as a whole.
That is fair. These are the kind of opinions I was looking for. Just see where other people were on this.
To be more rational about it as much as I can. I'm not an idiot. I understand that I'm not being rational about this.
Nobody
But-
called you an idiot.
I know.
Irrational, implied, but not
Yes. If anybody short of the diviner or the cleric bitch,
Mhm.
the latter of whom we 100% with certainty knows. If anybody is aware, it's the one in tune with necromancy and undeath, who's going to know exactly what the situation is.
Right. And that is all fine and good, but it depends on her opinion of things. This is what I was going to try. So I was considering, but if the general consensus is back up, hold horses and wait.
To relay what I had shared with Morgan, says Soria, Tarvaldrin is ultimately concerned, in my experience, only with the protection of her own. She will do anything to keep her people safe. That's a good thing and that's a bad thing.
That's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. It is a glaring weakness.
It is, but it means that she is not malicious.
Her people can be used against her.
That's
That
where
is
it's
the
a
concern.
good thing. We can manipulate her with it.
So can others.
No,
No
it's a
debate.
weakness. I'm not going to deny. I'm just saying it means she isn't malicious to the world per se.
And
Uncaring.
if she has
Oh,
learned about the situation as a whole, and odds are very good considering she has the ability to speak with the dead at will,
Right.
it's likely that she dare not upset the status quo for the danger it poses to her people.
That's incredibly spineless.
Perhaps. But it
Doesn't
ensures
mean
that
she
her
can't be
people remain.
convinced, however.
Doesn't mean that we can't use it against her.
I think that's a little more manipulative than I'm planning, but general idea, yes.
Exactly as manipulative as I'm hoping.
But yes, I was planning to use that as a way to convince her of the goal in general. But as discussed, we can come back to this when we are more powerful and have more sway.
Right.
I just wanted to get the idea.
I would recommend getting some rest. We'll be arriving at the monastery in the morning. So, before we arrive at the monastery, let's just really quickly go down the line on the bastions, because it's been a week. Astra, you're making more poison. You get more poison. Your arcane facility is, I believe, just making more arcane.
Yeah,
So
I can never remember what the other thing that it can do is. But yeah. Yeah, it's just doing the things that it does.
Yep. Molly,
Yes.
what was your library researching?
That's a good question. Did I write it down?
If you haven't, I highly recommend writing down what your bastions are doing, just so that you can remember, because I won't.
The other thing the arcane study does is craft a book.
That's right.
The last thing I had was, I think this was already done.
Is this our third turn or our fourth?
This is turn
3.
3.
Okay. I did have the correct number written down.
I don't know. The last thing I had was what are the various relationships between the it says world leaders, but
Between the
different-
nations, yeah.
between the nations, yeah. I think that may have already been answered. I'm not 100% because I can't remember.
That was, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then I don't remember what the
Well,
other one.
to be fair, you might have been researching more of that because you only get 3 facts per instance. So
Yeah. So yeah,
We
I'll
want-
just
we
stick,
can-
I'll
yeah,
stick
go
with that.
more of
I'll
that.
stick with that, yeah.
Other things that you learn. You know that the geniocracy of Ricule provides gauntlet runners essentially to any other nations and any individuals powerful enough to afford them in the other nations.
Mm-hmm.
What that does mean, what you learn though, is that the highest concentration of gauntlet runners exist within 3 specific nations that you have, all of which are ones you haven't been to yet,
Mm-hmm.
at least in this trip.
Mm-hmm.
Asterius, the Idle Nation, the Kleptocracy of Nox, and the Guidine Houses have the highest concentration of gauntlet runners outside of Ricule. Which also means that if you're going to find someone from one of those nations anywhere outside those nations, it is most likely that you will find someone. Like if you're going to find someone who is not from the nation, aside from someone who was lost in the upheaval,
Mm-hmm.
you will most likely find another gauntlet runner and someone traveling in it from one of those 3 nations.
Mm-hmm.
Ketting, the Pact Nation, has a very tenuous relationship with 12 Towers, which is to say they share a border. But because that border is between the Conjuration and Divination Towers, it's not one that sees a lot of traffic. Although there is an amount between the Conjuration Tower and Ketting. They share some interest with each other. There's not a whole lot of trade that you would normally expect from 2 nations that share a border, but they do at least have a little bit of a communication line. The little bit of world history that you seem to know about the 12 nations as they interact. Of all of them, the Kratocracy of Volkir boasts the largest and most powerful military. If any one nation is a threat to all other nations just by itself, it's Volkir. Should they mobilize their entire army, any one nation probably will have a hard time stopping it. Could probably have been expected considering the nature of the nation, but worth knowing for certain. Those are your 3 facts from that. Your workshop was working on a spyglass, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's still in production. It'll probably finish, I want to say, the next turn over.
Okay.
And then Morgan's Bastion. You're recruiting, or are you already?
I believe if this is the 3rd turn, I still have room for another 1 more round.
Yeah, so one more round of recruiting at the barracks.
We'll take them up to the full 12.
And then making more
Symbols
holy symbols.
Yeah, Syndradiga. Yeah.
Yeah, you get your holy symbol and make more. Ukraine, your bastion, you have an herb garden. You harvest what you were growing last time, and what are you growing this time? You were making healers kits last time, right?
Yeah.
So you get 10 healers kits. You want to make more healers kits or a potion of healing?
Let's do potions of healing.
All right, you will get a potion of healing at the end of the next week. And then the arcane study. I'm assuming you were making a book last time, I believe.
Yes.
So that book is complete.
Okay.
It is a blank book. It is available for you to write whatever you want into it. Would you like it to continue? Would you like it to make another book or an arcane focus?
Arcane focus.
Arcane focus. And then Ingrid's Bastion. With Talia's assistance, your garden provides you with two poison this time instead of one.
I was making anti-venom.
Oh right, no, you get two. You get double the doses of anti-venom from your garden.
I get 4 anti-venom.
Yeah, you get 4 anti-venoms. And then what was your library researching?
Art of Transcendence.
Ah, yes, the Art of Transcendence. So the Art of Transcendence is essentially, from what you're able to learn, is so the Art of Transcendence is essentially the achievement of what is considered the perfect undead form, and you already know that part. But that's not just via means of becoming a lich. There are various different types of undead that are considered perfect undead. The term is a broad category, but it essentially means undead that do not suffer degradation over time. Essentially undead that will last, that theoretically can last forever, given the right circumstances. Vampires are often considered to be a perfect undead. Liches are considered a perfect undead. The art of transcendence is basically it's a broad field, but it is essentially the aspect of becoming one of these under your own power. Because traditionally, most of the time, the art of transcendence is flawed. Usually, the way that you acquire that kind of perfect undead form comes at a cost. Usually, it has something to do with, like for vampires, if you're turned by a vampire, you are a slave to the vampire that turned you until you can kill them, and so on. If you become a lich, it usually comes at the cost of your own soul, etc. The art of transcendence seeks to achieve that perfect undead state without that cost being paid. Essentially preserving yourself while achieving essentially immortality. The theory behind it, the most common theory one has put forward that you learn from research is that theoretically, if you were powerful enough, you could raid hell, literally, and either steal your soul back or find the knowledge of how to transcend without having to sell your soul for it. That's a difficult thing to try and do, obviously. But theoretically, there are a number of other ways to achieve what you're looking for. There are rumors that such things have been achieved on accident before, though there are no specifics given on how that's accomplished. But those are your 3 facts. And I believe that's the whole Bastion turn. Which means the next day arrives. It's a foggy day. The visibility is cut heavily. But over time, as you move through, it's hard to say what time of day it is through the fog, but sometime in the midday, you start to see a large structure looming in the distance. Its silhouette breaks up the forest as the tree line becomes thinner around it. Not like it's been logged out, almost like the tree line just knows better than to grow towards this structure. And as you get closer, you realize that it's an enormous, like multi-story towered pagoda-like monastery. This just like roughly square in shape, with no less than a dozen of these massive, like wide square parapet exterior floors on the outside of this rising tower that ascends. You can't see how high it goes because it's too foggy. You cannot see the upper levels of the tower through the fog.
For my visual sake, have it on high, solid comparison here.
More literally look at the map.
I mean, yeah. I'm just trying to get the like proper sense of scale while we're in front of it, you know.
Yeah, heaven on high verticality significantly wider, like like a castle that you could stand inside. Kind of.
Gotcha.
And is a big tower.
And yeah, there's a large 30-40 foot tall wall sort of around the base, establishing a central courtyard, and a big red door at the front with enormous iron and brass rings that look to be the equivalent of enormous door knockers.
I think we found our way in.
Who's doing the honors?
I enjoy making friends. Let's do this.
I was just about to say, you want to make friends?
After you.
Your grain will head to the door.
Yep.
And how big are the brass rings?
Like bigger than you.
Okay. Pull one out.
Yeah, like you walk up to one and you're like, well, hope this thing is well oiled. And you sort of grab one with both hands and just walk backwards. Unfortunately, yeah, they do seem to be on a decent enough lever that they sort of swing out. You get the sense that if you were between this thing and the door, it would not be a good impact when you let it go.
Yeah.
You let go, and it just boom, like an enormous gong just sort of rings out in the air around.
Well, if they had not heard the Gauntlet Runner, they know we are here now.
A few moments pass, and the massive red door that you're standing in front of rumbles like stone as it slides inward, and opens enough to allow the Gauntlet Runner's full clearance through.
Here we go.
And I'll step inside after you, Green.
Step inside, out of the wilds.
Yep.
You bring the Gauntlet Runner in, and any of you that are on foot walk in. The Gauntlet Runner finds a spot to stop. As you walk inside, you see that inside the walls is essentially like a small castle town. There are a number of different like small tents that have been set up for particular purposes, like maintaining clothing and equipment. There are training dummies basically everywhere the eye looks. There are like practice stations for some variety of martial arts or meditation pools or places for people to hone skills, sharpen their mind, etc. There are a couple of pavilions for reading, and the smell of incense wafts through the air. It seems as if you have walked into a place that is entirely separated from the outside world. Almost nothing in here seems like anything elsewhere in the nations that you've been to. And everywhere you look, you see individuals talking, training, meditating, all seem to be focused on whatever it is that they are currently dedicated to. The environment is solemn in a way that almost looks like everyone here is more focused on what they're doing than anything else around them. Almost to the detriment. You're starting to wonder who even let you in the door. Until you realize that there is just a stone-faced golem, just literally a being of rock standing at the door, who is pushing the door back into place now that you have made your way in. You're trying to figure out who to talk to, as everyone here seems to just sort of ignoring your presence, when you hear a voice that sort of indicates that sort of calls your attention. Well, you're the first people that would have been here in nigh on 30 years.
My name is Ygraine. These are my friends. We have some things to discuss.
I'm sure you do, but good luck finding anyone to discuss it with around here. You turn and look, and you see, sort of out of the shadows, a single red eye, almost serpent-like in its sort of vertical slit that glows in the dark. There's a second point of light that you think might be another eye, but it's awkwardly positioned. And as the individual steps out of the shadows, you realize it's not another eye, it's a cigar. As this individual looks nothing like the rest of the people here. You find yourself staring at someone who looks like they're more at home in a bar fight than a monastery. They have sort of like ashen pale skin, like they haven't seen anywhere near enough sunlight in a very long time. They have this sort of messy crop of black hair that reaches to about like between the shoulder blades. There's a single lock that is like blood red dyed. And you realize that, they have their right eye is this singular glowing red slitted orb, where the left is a solid mass of black with this like gold flecks where the iris and pupil should be, that sort of stand out as that eye is definitively artificial of some kind. They're dressed in this sort of like chest-bearing leather shirt and tunic, pants covered like with like 3 or 4 different belts attaching it to the waist, boots that lead into heavy chaps that hike up the breeches, long black form-fitting shirt sleeves leading to fingerless gloves, wearing a coat that has a very familiar style. It's not the same. It's like worn, what, like dirt and like beaten down, worn violet, burgundy, and crimson, but it is the exact same cut and fashion as the coat worn by Ingrid. As this individual steps into view. What the hell brings a lot of you out here? And that's where we're gonna take our break. Remember, we take our break, you take your break. So sit up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. Please enjoy these commercial messages.
You're back.
A dinosaur story.
I'm just gonna stop saying we're back. I'm just gonna make us live and then not say anything, and people just won't know for like
You're acting
3
like
minutes.
you're acting like that's gonna stop us.
I will just start dropping, though. We're live, pal.
Also, I would
Hey,
note
Jeremy,
That's
are we live?
acceptable.
Are we back? Are we live, Jeremy? Are we back? Are we? Are we? Are we? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
We
also,
did.
I can
have-
mute you.
I have the stream up, so I would notice that we're back.
Oh, yeah, that would be the other trick.
So,
Perks of being live. We can watch it.
so when we last left off, the group of you have been greeted by a mysterious individual.
It's worth noting that
Who the
Ingrid
fuck are you?
is.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's worth noting Ingrid is hidden on the Gauntlet Runner.
Who the fuck are you?
Wood.
Was that Julia or
That was Julia. Yagrain isn't sexually attracted to anything.
Yeah,
Because Morgan's tentative would. So
yeah. Jeremy is also wood.
depending on personality, tentative would.
Aster is a doll.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a long story.
I mean, we got time.
can
What's
I
your
ask you,
name?
what are you doing here?
Well, let's start with the name, since that's going to take a second.
Oh, really?
Hold on, let me find it. Let me find my name.
it's-
We've all been there.
No, it's not because I have it literally in front of me. No, it's because my name is Tanfil Storkatus Langnaf and Rakenwald, first and last of my name and sole surviving scion of the kingdom of Noctis.
I'm not saying all of that.
Out of character, pronunciation could be improved, but not bad.
That's because I was saying it quickly.
Yeah. Look,
Because I was saying I was focused on saying the
Welsh. Why am I the judge?
I was focused on saying the entire name,
Yeah.
Oh,
whereas most of the time it's Tanhuith.
Yeah. I don't even speak Welsh. Who am I to judge?
so did you have to learn how to write all of that as a child, or like did you just go by a nickname, or
Typically, people tend to refer to me as Prince Tanhuith.
and do you still go by that title?
Technically, that is still my title. Yes, I have not ascended to king.
Prince Antois.
All right, Prince. So what are you doing here?
I said, first and last of my name and sole surviving scion of the kingdom of Noctis.
Yes, I heard you. What are you doing here?
Surviving.
How'd you end up here? I understand. Yes, sole survivor. Yeah, got it. But there's a lot of places to survive. Why here?
The same way that many people tend to end up here. When you have nowhere else to go, you sort of drift, and this place takes in those who are adrift.
Also, obligatory question: where was Noxus? Or where was Noctis?
In the place that is now the kleptocracy of Nox.
That makes sense.
Ah. And how long did you say it's been?
Since this place was founded, nigh on 30 years.
So
Is that how long
you
you've
are
been here?
aware then?
Not that anyone else pays attention to that fact, no, yes.
Well, we know, if that helps.
You're the first.
Cool.
So you kind of answered my other question, which was, is there a, this is going to sound wrong. It's going to sound so wrong. So everybody here came from somewhere else? Is there not a native of the monastery?
The
Or is
only
it
one,
just
the only one who can be considered native would be the person who built it. That'd be Mistress Farah.
is she accessible?
He looks up into the mist. How many levels do you want to climb only to come to a locked door?
So is that your long way of saying no, she's not accessible?
Not right now, at least.
How
Is
often
there-
does she make herself accessible? Or, better question, how do we make her accessible?
How can we put in a request to see her?
I've been here 30 years, basically since this place's establishment. I've seen her a handful of times.
Great. This is going to be very productive.
Okay.
Not to say that you can't pull it off, but she and just about the vast majority of the people that make their lives around here are looking for isolation in the pursuit of perfection.
It is tempting to just cast fly to see if I can reach it.
So how many stories is that?
Well, I only ever made it up to 7 before I had to turn back.
7 flights of stairs?
7 stories of the pagoda.
Hmm.
And I
It's-
imagine there's a lot more than that up there.
It's not just a tower, it's a test.
To see well, here's my other question. If you've only ever made it up 7 stories, how do you know that the door is locked?
Because I know how these things work.
I mean, if it's a test, every door is locked until he proves himself, right?
Pretty much.
And there's only one way up?
I've never tried to go up the outside. I probably could if I wanted, but I don't know how I'd get in from the outside.
That's true. No windows, I'm guessing.
Oh, there are plenty, but they're shut and they don't open.
Ah,
Have I tried to punch one open before? Yes. Has it ever broken? No.
hmm.
You
Good
you
to know
need
trial
way
and
more
error.
explosives.
I mean, that would also
Wait,
piss off.
Did you just say explosives?
I don't recall saying explosives.
I mean, that would also piss off the people we are trying to at least tentatively have a
Yeah,
flight
let's
with.
go to this sounds like a great idea. Let's go to a monastery and start using explosives. That's gonna make a good impression.
Astra, no.
Why are you looking at me?
Yeah, I mean
You were saying-
technically
Sorry, force of habit.
Igraine is the
Igraine,
one
no.
who said explosives. And yes,
I
I
have
know what I
not
heard.
blown up anything.
Yet.
Let me rephrase that. I have not blown up anything that was not a person individually.
I'll give her that one.
Explosives is for the record number 375.
Wow, the callback counted that joke a bit.
Out of how many?
3,476. Technically, explosives is number 375, 1,432, and 2016.
I assume these are different kinds.
And
of
all
explosives.
important distinctions between them. I'm sure.
Yeah, well, one is tying someone to the explosives. One is force feeding them the explosives. And the third one is just throwing a grenade at.
Favorite ways to
It
kill a
took
person?
that long to think of throwing a bomb.
Not favorite, just different ways.
Fair enough.
Do you have-
Experimenter.
Anyway,
I need to ask you if you have those written down one of these days.
Yes.
Oh, you do. That's fantastic. Everybody needs a hub.
I don't literally. I have been documenting these as I've gone.
Oh, okay, that's good.
just pulls out the Jericho scroll.
Yes.
Every third one is armbar.
Exactly. Look, that could fuck
Yes.
somebody up.
Anyway,
An aficionado, I can appreciate it.
Technically,
But
force
the-
feeding them the explosive. They didn't, but it wasn't specifically the explosives. It was they died of poison because I was shoving black powder down their throat. It might have been the choking. I'm not sure, but they did explode after the fact.
I was gonna say, would that not count as 3 different options?
okay,
Anyway.
No,
Okay.
because I only used the one.
okay.
Right, but yes. Okay.
So
assuming
Prince,
we don't want to piss off the mistress.
Prince, why are you?
Go.
I know you're you're refuge, but do you have any other purpose here? Are you
Well-
trying to reach perfection too?
I mean, I don't really need perfection. I just need to get good enough at punching people's heads in that I can take my revenge.
I mean, and you get a lot of practice for that here.
Oh yeah.
Might I ask on whom?
Who the hell do you think?
I mean, if Nox is
I mean,
where
we
your
just
home used
got-
to be,
we
I'm
just-
gonna guess the leader of Nox.
Bingo.
I
You-
don't know much about them personally, but I think that's kind of the point, isn't it?
They took my home, killed most of my family, and destroyed everything my kingdom used to be and my family used to value to build an empire of greed in its place. Yes, I want revenge.
You've come to the right place. Well, we've come to the right place, and you've stayed here long enough for us to come here. We're gonna burn it all down.
Okay, but
Mm,
okay,
We would
maybe
at least like to
We're planning
take
to
their
change
brain about
things.
it.
here's the
Some of us are going to burn it all down.
okay.
Others are just want to change things.
Okay, we're all getting very excited here. Okay. So you understandably want to bash in the skulls of the people that did this to your family. Understandably. I can see where you're coming from, but my question is, how do you get practice for that here without actually bashing heads in?
He looks over, he turns his head to the side, looks at somebody, pulls the cigar out, puts his other hand to his lips and whistles. One of the other random passersby sort of turns away from what they were doing, walks over towards Tanhuith, and just sort of 3 rounds. Tanhuith nods. All right, let's do it. Puts the cigar back in his mouth, raises his fists, and you watch a sparring match very quickly. The person that Tanhuith is fighting is very much what you would expect of a monk, a monastic warrior. They're very martial arts. They are moving with grace and skill and talent. That doesn't get them very far because Tanhuith is, from what you can tell, a bare knuckle boxer. He
Looks to be that way, yes.
he steps inside an incoming strike, raises his arm up, catches them under the chin with an uppercut, and then just steps forward, tackles them to the ground, and starts to ground and pound. And this goes for 3 rounds. At that, Tanhuith is very clearly the dominant in all 3 rounds.
But you mentioned the pugilist is on D&D
I did indeed.
Is that
Coincidentally,
relevant?
It might be.
The what?
Pugilist.
Shani earlier said the pugilist class they covered
Yeah,
a very popular 5e
Yeah,
homebrew on
Benjamin
Beyond now.
Benjamin Huffman created a very popular 5e homebrew class called the Pugilist, which is a bare knuckle fighting class that is not a monk.
Yeah, it takes all of the wuxia out of monk and
Yeah.
puts it into
Got it.
various other forms of hand to hand.
Okay.
Astra, just watching it, says, I'm a doll, so I'm not sure. Is this what arousal feels like?
I mean, it's very
Or-
possible.
Morgan takes a long sip out of the water canteen to avoid answering that question.
I mean, it depends on your kink, really, Astra, but to each their own.
I'm just imagining that happening to all of the people in charge, all of them.
After which the person that they had been sparring with is helped to their feet. They dust themselves off. Tadhois and their sparring partner exchange a handshake. The partner asks, "Have you had anything to eat in the past couple of days?" He says, "No, not really." And he's like, "Well, in exchange for a good sparring match, I can offer." They step forward, and you all watch as Tadhois just sort of leans their neck back, bares fangs, and bites down on their neck.
Ah,
Damn for your pugilist.
There's a brief moment. They pull back. The monk kind of shakes their head a bit. Always a weird sensation, but
That's
Glad-
2,694.
glad to help out.
Okay. That answered a few questions and created a few more.
I'm not exactly alive in the traditional sense.
I mean, that goes for half this party, so there you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, welcome to the club.
Technically speaking, when I say that they killed most of my family, technically they killed all of my family,
And you're the
Myself
last one
included.
standing.
myself included. I'm just the one that got back.
You're
up.
a vengeance spirit.
Kind of.
What do you go? What I mean, I know your name, I know your title, but what would you call yourself? What would you classify yourself as?
Technically speaking, from what I read from my family's old histories, the technical name for what I am is a sanguinor. It's not quite a vampire. It's something different, but it still functions like one.
Okay.
I just call you Eric for short.
So how long that's not his name. How long have you been, I don't want to say alive, in existence?
I was killed during the invasion of my home, and I woke up in the ashes of it. I don't exactly know what happened, but I wandered aimlessly until I came upon the monastery, and I've been here basically ever since. I occasionally journey out into the wilds to get practice on larger beasts.
So if you've been here for the past 30 years, give or take, when do you feel you'll be ready to go and take on the people who usurped your home and killed your family?
Well, considering the scale of the people we're dealing with, I should probably at least make it to the top of the tower once.
That's a
Go
good
ahead.
short-term goal.
Do you perchance have a pet bird?
I mean, I had a crow once.
That's what I thought. Like I said,
think-
you're just going to be Eric now.
do we think there's a way we can scratch each other's backs on this one? Because you are extremely useful and have knowledge of what's going on in Nox, and we need to go see the mistress. At least short term.
I mean, doesn't even have to be short term. I'm pretty certain that you guys are the only ones I've ever met who even know what's going on.
Yeah, that's a new
Recent
new
development.
discovery.
I'm not exactly going to find more allies like you just standing here, so.
In that case, we should get at least. Well, definitely Ingrid. I think we should go get the tiefling as well. She might be interested in this. Looks at the rest of the group.
I mean, the
Yeah.
tiefling has a name. I don't know what it is.
Yes, but I don't want to
but
drop
the
the
tiefling
name
does.
immediately for reasons.
Fair.
Oh, that makes sense.
I just
I
imagine
can be
Soria. I just imagine Soria and Ingrid are in the ship having a conversation, and they both get the feeling like, I think we're being talked about.
I mean, how do we know that Ingrid isn't already like in the secret tunnels 10 feet underground? Like,
We are coming up on that on the episode. Yeah,
like
I mean, who the fuck knows? But I'll at least check.
I just picture Morgan going into the Gauntlet Runner and being like, and just calling their names like you yell at somebody from downstairs to upstairs, like,
Yeah,
Soria, Grain, Ingrid, whoever you are. Sorry, too many.
Well, fine.
names. Get down here, respectfully.
But yes. Yeah, all on board to bring Soria out of character, or
Yep.
Yeah.
Out of character, I think it'd be smarter to have him come into the Gauntlet Runner and not reveal Soria out in the
Yeah.
No,
is fair.
that's actually really
no,
yes.
yeah, that
because
is
very
the
good.
mistress,
yeah.
because there are windows to this place. The mistress might see Soria and might
in that
not
case,
like that.
Well,
Actually,
the mistress is also an uber level powered individual. They might just sense anybody who walks in.
That's true.
let's actually do this a little smarter. Would you care to come with us? There are more of our contingent that we'd like you to meet, and we can discuss plans from there.
Plus,
Why
if you
not?
want any T-Rex jerky, we have like a ton.
If you couldn't eat regular food,
Oh yeah, I can. It just doesn't. It's more for the flavor than it is for anything else.
it does taste good.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It won't sustain me like blood does, but it's good for the flavor.
Fair enough.
How often? do
I
you
can
eat
go
this
get
meat?
you blood.
I believe he wants to choose his own blood.
I'm not particularly picky.
Don't tell her that.
That is not an invitation.
Sounds like an invitation to me.
You stay put. You can go
Most-
collect blood later.
Mostly, I just need a drink every few days. If I go much longer than that, I start to get the same kind of feelings that normal people do with starvation.
I was about to say
I-
hangry, but yes, starvation is worse.
I will offer blood when necessary.
I bet you would.
Jesus Christ.
Right over your grain's head.
Oh, Morgan takes another long sip. But yeah, Morgan
Just
will
correct
agree.
me if it's not true.
Well, for Grain, no. For Julia, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is completely the opposite for me and Morgan. Funny enough. Yeah, I'm more gonna lead the group back in, assuming people are following.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, you actually called it. Ingrid, Soria. We have company.
Murdery company.
Yeah. Soria will come. Is Ingrid coming?
Yeah.
The pair of you walk in. Tanhoith immediately locks eyes with Soria, and just the two of them at the same time in different tones go, "You." Tanhoith is
We have created the Spider-Man meme.
Tanhoith sounds significantly more pissed, and Soria sounds more surprised.
Oh no.
I'm glad we did this inside our
Yeah,
gauntlet runner instead of out in the open. That was probably
Yeah,
a good call.
Agreed.
Soria kind of.
I was expecting history, but let's see how this goes.
Can you buy
Soria,
that popcorn?
Soria kind of like looks surprised and then looks. I'm amazed you're still around. How are things going? Tanhoith scowls, looks frustrated, and just, they're going fine. What is she doing here?
We may have saved her.
Broken her out of prison.
Don't tell Wolkir.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually the one that told us that time is wrong.
I was about to say the two of you share some knowledge.
She would, wouldn't she?
But who's this?
He looks over at you, Ingrid, and there's like a quizzical expression on his face for a second, but he sort of shakes his head and goes past it. I am Prince Tanhoith Dorkadas Longnafen Drakenwald, first and last of my name and sole surviving scion of the Kingdom of Noctis.
I'm calling him Eric.
I call him Prince.
Tanhoith.
I won't say what Morgan's thinking.
A violet storm just passes overhead for no reason.
For reference, I can just show you the ability that shares the same name.
Amazing. That's hilarious.
Oh. We just Soria told me about the kingdom as we passed by the lakes.
He nods, looking at Soria with this sense of like, there is a lot that I want to say but can't right now. And sort
Actually,
of,
we should actually read it because we do technically have a podcast too. All they just heard was, here's this blink and then silence for several seconds.
So for fairness, the ability reads his name, the thing that he just said, and his full title. And the ability is when Prince Tanhoith sees an ally within 60 feet fail a saving throw, he can use his reaction to add his charisma modifier, which for reference is 3, to the saving throw, potentially turning a failure into a success. He can do this a number of times per long rest equal to his proficiency bonus, which is 3.
Okay.
All right.
So around dark strength makes sense.
So anyway,
Are we gonna get a clue to y'all's story, or are we just gonna leave the tension in the air?
Well, for everyone but her, he says, looking at Soria, there's only so much we can say.
That's fair. What can you say?
Will or can?
yeah, those are two
very
separate
different words.
things.
Sorry, my internet just spasmed. I
Yeah.
watched everyone else freeze for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to repeat?
Yeah, repeat that, please.
Will or can? Because those are
Yep.
very different things.
Can.
Interesting.
Sorry, I'm actually gonna have to cut out.
No worries.
I will talk to y'all later.
Yay.
Bye bye.
Hi.
Arrange the cameras once that happens.
Yep, I'm doing that right now. I just have to make the.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Yeah. Memory stuff. So
There we
you're
go.
still affected by the weird memory stuff.
Oh, it's
but-
more than that. You
Oh,
haven't met anyone else as old as I am. Well, anyone else who lived through everything.
Like, is this like a
I mean, we might
ban
have-
or
Yeah.
like
so
do you know it and can't say it?
something
Can we
like
play
that.
charades?
Okay.
I can say more. I can say more than most on account of having been dead when it happened. But from what I understand, Soria, correct me if I'm wrong. You might not realize the full details of this either. He says, with a hint of sarcasm that says, "You absolutely know the full details of this." And Soria cuts in. From my understanding, the ritual that allowed the being that set this whole series of motions into place to create the world that we now inhabit essentially banned those who still recall, aside from myself having been in a god's presence at the time, from being able to speak and from being able to reveal the truth as it truly is.
in that case, I don't actually think you're the only one I've met or we've met. To Tanfloith.
Well, glad there's at least some others out there.
Yeah, I assume that
The
fucker
Warforged
back in.
Default.
Yeah,
I
Venator.
assume that they were aware.
Yes. Yeah. They straight up said to Morgan, there are things I cannot say, and we did not have context for that.
It's a little bit looser on my end. Like I said, I'm not quite human. I'm not quite living, and I kind of bend the rules already. But I still can't say everything.
Let me ask you this question, and maybe you can't answer it, but it's worth a shot. Is there anyone who can?
He points at Soria.
She can or she will?
Yes.
I mean, I'll tell you what's relevant as it comes up. I have a lot of history and story in my head. I can only say so much at once.
Anything that we need to know that will aid us going forward? Like,
Do you have
right
any
now.
idea how little that narrows it down?
Then I don't know. Pick a favorite. I don't know. What do you want? What do you want me to? I don't know how. She stops. She breathes. Okay. In your opinion, is there anything like if we don't know about it, we will fail in this mission and die that we need to know right now?
I mean, right now you've kind of got the gist of the situation as a hand. I didn't expect to run into Prince Tanahoith alive, still kicking, apparently drinking blood now. But yeah, that's a surprise. But as far as like things you need to know right now for your mission, I already said I don't really know what Farah is. Really, you of all people don't know what Farah is. All right.
I mean, I take it that you do then, Prince.
Can we share
Care to
with the rest
enlighten?
of the class?
Care to enlighten?
Can we stop playing mind games?
You probably haven't heard of the species, but they come from the sea of stars beyond the world. They're known as the Gith.
Oh.
That's fun. Out of character knowledge. Yeah, that's a new one.
So what are they doing here?
Seeking perfection.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Death.
They're gets the rise specifically out of character. I
Yep.
bet. Yep. I know my gift. I played Baldur's Gate a little.
Do you know of any, and still asking this of what's her name? Tiefling. Sorry. And knowing what she is there any way we can get an audience with her? Because Prince was not sure.
I mean, from what I understand, she set up her tower as a trial, and I think the reward for reaching and passing all of them is getting to meet the mistress. So, unless you want to wait for her to come out on her own, which I understand she does do occasionally, but not super often, that's probably your best bet.
I mean,
So,
if we
Are we
if can
talking
prove
about just?
ourselves-
Are we just
Go
talking
ahead.
about climbing stairs or like
I mean,
fire
so
breathing dragons, or what are we talking about?
I don't know how many levels there are. She says, looking at Tanhoith. More than 7, he says.
Okay, so out the window, one of the windows of the Gauntlet Runner, can we see?
The fog obscures the top of the tower. You can only see like about 3 floors up.
Oh,
The easiest way of doing it and not waiting for chance, and even then she might not listen to us, is getting through these trials. And
right.
I'm going to be honest. I'm just so we can prove to her that we're worth her time. We should do that way.
I'm
And
game.
Normally people go in solo as a test of skill, but I don't think there's anything actually preventing a group from attempting the trials. Every floor, well, not every floor. Some floors are there for rest, but any floor can be anything from a puzzle to an environmental challenge to a fight.
Well, I'm game. Who else is?
I'm down.
Fine.
I'm surprised you're hesitant. You were so up for the fight in Wolkir.
I am for the most efficient way to accomplish what we need to accomplish. And
You don't think it's climbing a bunch of stairs?
I think we're going to get up there and she's going to say, I'm not perfect yet. I must sit here and meditate for the next 13,000 years before I figure out how to be perfect. And we will be wasting our time. But if we don't go through with this, we will keep coming back to the notion of, well, what about her?
Okay.
And she might not be
So-
perfect. She might not do
Yeah.
anything, but she might give us something to help us at the least.
And how about this?
Possibly. Maybe.
How about this? I know this. In just go with me on this. I know
Mhm.
this. I know this is. I know this is like the worst scenario ever for like a horror movie. But like, if we split up the group, and I don't know, like some of us go climb these stairs and solve these puzzles and get in these fights, and others of us like do legwork around the monastery, and I don't know, maybe find some secret hidden passages somewhere, or find people who will talk. That's also a possibility.
Is there anybody else here that will talk? I looked over at Anne.
I mean, if you're direct about it and you interrupt them or you just sort of call them out, yeah, they'll talk, they'll take some time, but they're all kind of devoted to what they're doing, so you'll want to either be quick about it or give them a reason to focus on you.
Also, how much would they know about all of this? And
Right.
Yeah, that one's also going to be limited.
he's finding secrets? Maybe. We know someone who's very good at that. Head tilts over to Ingrid.
And the trick about the tower is it's not just a physical place, it's mystical and weird. It remembers the people that try and climb it. I can walk up to the 7th floor because it's as far as I've cleared without any issues. But it'll present its challenges to anyone who hasn't already cleared any individual floor.
Fun.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm actually kind of excited to get through this because I'm very curious.
I'm an investigator. What can I say?
Good, because we're going to need you for some of the mental tests.
There's a scary thought.
I got to design a dungeon, but all the rooms are stacked on top of each other.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You made your own roguelike in a roguelite in D&D. Good job.
Yep. We're playing Moria.
Well, in any event, I would recommend not just walking in there unprepared.
How should we prepare?
Well, if you got any gear that might help with sustaining yourself over a long period of time, you're welcome to cover all that. I would probably make sure that, well, if any of you are practiced spellcasters, I would recommend that you are loaded for bear as far as magic goes. Make sure you're ready for fights, traps, and everything in between. And, well, I also wouldn't go in on an empty stomach. It could take a while.
On that, I mean, I know we have food here. Is there food around here as well? I mean, I know you like your main source is blood, but is there like other food available?
Oh yeah, some of the practitioners around here make cooking part of their self improvement. So some of them are really good at it.
I mean,
And do they
at
sell
least-
it, trade it for information, or?
It's pretty communal around here. If someone's making food, you're pretty much just welcome to it.
Good to know.
I mean, let's at least talk to some people, set some food, and see what we can find before we go in.
I mean, if we are, need to take gear with us, we can always like pack some jerky too. Like
Yeah.
that's not gonna go bad.
Yep.
I'm not going to say it's not going to be difficult, but I'm also saying I'm willing to traverse it if there's even a chance of us.
Yeah, and I can tell you the first floor,
Uncovering
is,
the
the
next
first
piece.
from what I've seen from other people who've gone in, the first floor is always a fight. So,
Are you allowed weapons?
oh yeah,
Okay.
take whatever you need to go in. It's a
I mean,
test.
perfection in whatever form
Just-
it takes.
just pat-
they
just- just pat-
focus on hand to hand.
Pat's crossbow.
Yep.
Well, Ingrid and Astra, what about you?
Oh, I'm in.
I don't know. You said something about going and looking for secrets, so
Do that
You wanna
before
go
we
look
go
for
up
secrets?
and join us. That's up to you. Depends how long you want to take looking for secrets.
that depends on how long it takes to find.
You make a fair point. Yeah, I mean, we can let you know when we're ready to go up, or you come find us when you're ready.
I mean, there should be enough to keep you occupied.
Or you can just stay down here. Up to you.
I mean, you guys just go up the tower. Like, if there comes a challenge that I'll be good for, you can come back down.
Well, the thing is, like I said, the tower remembers who has and hasn't faced a challenge, which means if you're going up separately, each of you is going to run into your own challenge on the way up. So if your group runs into a challenge that you're going to be good at on floor 3, you're going to have to go through floors 1 and 2 first.
Yeah.
So that we hope that we don't. I hate to say this. I don't mean this rudely. We either hope we don't need you necessarily, or you come with us.
We will not be offended, no matter what you choose.
Yeah. No, both is good.
If you
Both
think you
plans are
could be more of use for one of the floors, or if you think you'd be better use doing your underground secret agent thing.
I mean, if you guys are willing to take some time, you can do both.
That was the suggestion I was trying to.
Oh, okay. So I misunderstood you.
Yeah, was while we get food and everything, Ingrid goes off and does her thing, and then joins us at the tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she does some digging. We do some preparing.
Yep.
And then she tells us what she found.
Yep. Now, I know you can just skip 6 or 7 floors here, and that was not intentional, I promise.
We're just gonna keep going.
Yep. Just
We're not even.
I had
gonna
the
acknowledge
internal
it.
cringe I had to just suppress hard there.
Just
I know you can just skip a number of floors here. Are you still coming with us, Prince?
I mean, I wouldn't really get the answers that I'm looking for if I don't.
Happy to have you aboard.
oh, good.
And just because I won't get challenges of my own doesn't mean I can't help you punch whatever shows up.
Be appreciated. You seem pretty good at it.
Although, technically, one question. You're not... Okay. I am only used to dealing with one specific undead, and that is Ingrid. You're not gonna have any adverse effects to divine magic, right?
That depends on what you mean by it. Are you trying
Healing.
to scorch me with divine rays? Because those
Only
hurt
if you-
like hell.
Only if you start on me. Healing.
No, I can be healed just fine.
Good to know.
I do have the vampire's weakness to divine holy scorching rays, though.
Good to know if you
Oh.
have a turn on us, but I don't
You
plan.
got-
I'm not currently planning that.
I was about to say, you got any of those, Morgan? You've been hiding those?
You've seen me charge my blade, right?
oh,
Which, mechanically speaking, he is vulnerable to radiant damage, but
Yes.
resistant to necrotic damage.
Mhm. Yes, I could smite him where he stands right now, but I don't plan to.
Okay.
I mean, you could try.
I don't want to try, but I could try. Yes.
But let us know if you're going to try, because I
I
can
have
sell
no reason.
tickets and popcorn.
I have no reason.
All right. So why don't we eat? Why don't we prepare? How long do you reckon we just do this for? However long it takes
Well, I mean,
Ingrid to find out secrets?
yeah, I mean, so the thing is, the tower is not going anywhere, and it remembers how much you've done. So, strictly speaking, if you make it up to a certain number of levels and decide we can't go any further, we can always come back later.
Okay.
In that case, yeah, let's hang out for a little bit until Ingrid's back, and then make our best shot.
Cool.
Ingrid, it's all you.
Have fun.
Who said Ingrid's still there?
Damn it.
We look over and just a blinking outline where Ingrid was.
If I thought it was worth anything, I'd totally use rewind on her ass.
No, Ingrid hasn't disappeared. Ingrid's more interested in the prince's coat. Ingrid's just been kind of like looking at the coat up and down.
Yeah, you notice that he's been taking an occasional glance at you as well, like you seem to catch his interest for some reason.
I know this isn't why, but I just all I could think about when you said that is Marv from Sin City. The damn fine coat you've got on there.
Like I said, it's a different coloration, and his looks a lot more worn out than yours is, but they are the same cut.
There are dots there. Ingrid's just not connecting them yet.
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to think of something when he looks at you. He has the face of someone who's trying to place where he knows you from. You get the sense he might be having a hard time because of the extensive amount of decomposition you've gone through. You are not as well preserved as he is.
I was kind of just on the ground for who knows how long. But with everyone starting to prepare, I'll go off.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
First is just a pass around. Just a casual stroll through, looking for any weird markings or like grates in the like sewer grates, or like particularly closer to the tower.
So the monastery is doesn't have anything that goes underground, as far as you can tell. But it is, an extensively large, like essentially castle fort. This like a big square footprint in the area. There are several. It's sort of divided into a number of different courtyards that are each surrounded by enclosed walkways, and then rooms and sections within those walkways that are divided by and fit to different purposes. There's a couple of kitchens, there's a couple of storerooms, there's a few places where people practice and perform maintenance on constructed materials. That are some there's like weaving rooms, there's rooms for working leather. There's the general, like, this place seems surprisingly self-sufficient, which is kind of you think is probably a requirement for living entirely isolated as long as this thing has. There are tools and materials for doing, making, or working with just about anything that you might need to live in this area. There are some gardens that are inside the walls. If you bother to climb the walls a little bit, you might see there are also some gardens outside the walls where they need more space. The closest thing that you realize there exists to an underground is as you walk through some of these hallways, you realize that some of these floorboards echo, which implies that there are hollow cavities under some of the floorboards. Whether that's just because they tried to make the floor even and the ground isn't necessarily even, or whether there is anything under there, probably depends.
Walking over them, do the floorboards feel loose, or are they tight?
They feel generally they feel pretty solid. However, they do feel like they are mostly held in place by tension and by just like inertia. Like you get the sense that they're not really like cemented in there. If you like wanted to pry one up, you probably could.
She'll make note of where some of these spots are and like how trafficked they are, what type of rooms are around them.
Yeah. There are also, as you might expect, several libraries full of scrolls. Mostly, there are some books, but it seems like it's a lot easier to make a scroll than it is to make a book. So that's what the majority of these are. And as you look around, you can see that most everyone seems to be going about their own business. There are a few like idle conversations from people who interact a bit, but for the most part, everyone seems to be of a "don't start none, won't be none" mindset. In that they don't really seem to bother you about anything, as long as you don't seem to be doing anything that is obviously a bother to other people or creating trouble for the monastery as a whole.
So walking around is fine.
Yeah.
Prying up the floorboards, they'll probably get attention.
Yeah, like walking around investigating the floorboards, no one's probably going to bat an eye. Like, I'm sure some of them have probably been curious about the floorboards layout before as well. It's if you decide to start ripping one of them up, then someone might object.
Otherwise, anything that looks like it would be thieves can't.
Roll me investigation.
Let's see, investigation is a minimum of 14. 23.
Nice. As you're looking around, it's not a thieves' cant you're familiar with, but it is. There is very clearly a form of hidden messaging that occurs around this monastery. The thing that catches your attention most is that it seems to be that the majority of the messages that you see are hidden above you. You don't really see any of the messages that you're looking at like on the ground floor or like on the walls where you would normally see thieves' cant. All of the messages that you see are like on rafters or support beams along the roof, or like you think you see a couple things like nestled into the crook of some of the eaves that are holding up the support structure.
any particular symbols that I see frequently that would correspond to like particular rooms?
There is one that you see that looks like it's a language character, but it's not a language that you speak. But it almost seems to indicate when you try and track any directional indicators, they always seem to point to like panels of wall that don't really seem to go anywhere. They just seem like they're just wall panels.
If there's nobody around when I walk past one, I'll give it a tap. See if
Roll me two things: stealth and perception.
let's see, stealth
Nice, that's funny.
and then perception.
Natural 20.
Okay then.
So you walk out to one of these walls that is indicated, and you like very gently, like you look around, no one is nearby. You very gently put a hand on it. You feel a bit of tension in the wall, like it kind of feels like it has some give to it. So you sort of like press yourself up against it and push a little bit. And you find the wall itself pivots around you as you disappear into a hidden wall, and find yourself in what look to be internal passageways that are hidden inside the walls of the monastery.
Now being particularly quiet about my walking, I'll wander and look for more markings and see where these lead.
Do you get out of this hidden passageway first, or are you going to wander in here?
Wander in.
All right. Your stealth is a natural 20. You're moving very quietly. You see a lot more markings in here. It seems like these internal passageways are meant for whoever is leaving these markings. And with a natural 20 perception, you realize that you're not alone, but you realize that the people you're not alone with also haven't seen you. And you realize that there are a handful, not too many, but more than one, individuals dressed in dark, not like pitch black, because in actuality, shadows are not actually pitch black, especially natural shadows. But like dark navy, like deep blue, the color of actual nighttime attire. And they are moving with a degree of agility that you've not really seen from your typical thief. And it almost seems like this is practice for them, as if moving around the monastery unseen, leaving messages, maintaining whatever form of cohesion around this temple is their own form of self-improvement. As there are more than one monk subclass, including one that can come. That can
I know
be
a shadow monk
referred,
when I hear one.
that can be charitably referred to as ninjas.
Mm-hmm. I know a shadow monk when I see one.
Do you?
The problem is seeing them.
Yeah. I have to see them first, but I will know they're there. I will know what they are when I see them. Yes.
I mean, not if they're good enough. They will just come out of the shadows, stun you, and then you won't know what's going on.
Yeah, but then I don't. But then I don't see them.
Right.
Although it's a
and they will stun lock, beat you to death.
I didn't say I'd be able to survive.
I'll post up out of the way and watch for a while, particularly for any, like if they're leaving any marks, and so I have context of what they're leaving marks for.
Yeah. You get the sense as they sort of move around. The marks themselves are part of the challenge. It almost seems like as you watch. It seems like the goal is being able to leave a signal for someone else while being completely unseen. As you notice, one of them, as you sort of watch, one of them is moving above you as you sort of like slink and move into a quiet corner to make yourself as minimally visible as possible. You watch one of them sort of like a shadow, just like completely unseen by anyone but you. Just sort of hop up the wall and get up to a higher beam that is like around the level that you saw some of the marks on the outside of these secret tunnels. They get up there, like lay themselves completely flat, and push themselves out another of those like folding walls, but this one is much smaller and clearly designed for someone on this upper level to crawl through. They crawl their way through it, leave something in position, and then come back. And then once the pass through the wall is shut, they very quietly just sort of scrawl a symbol on the wall that you, as you sort of pick up the bits of this thieves' cant over time, as you're seeing them lead them and watching what they mean, indicates a stash. It is an indicator that if someone is paying enough attention and able to see it, is a thing that someone is meant to grab as essentially a reward for their test.
After he leaves, I'll try grabbing it.
Are you a thief?
I am a rogue.
Like, are you thief subclass?
No.
Okay, so you don't have
I
second
am
story work,
No, I am a shadow subclass rogue.
right?
So technically, I could just have my shadow go grab it for me.
I mean, yeah, technically you could, yeah.
So I'll do that. I'll stay hidden down here and let my shadow just go grab
Yeah,
it.
your shadow just sort of slinks up and sort of crawls across the ground and disappears through the wall, grabs the thing and pulls it back, brings it over to you. It's a small like cloth bag.
I'll pocket that for later and go back the way I came and make my way out.
Yep. You make your way out. Where are you headed now?
Back to the Gauntlet Runner.
All right. You return. As you return, Prince Tanthoith is standing outside the runner, just sort of leaned up against the walkway to the interior, just seemingly looking out at the surrounding area.
I sneak up beside him.
You're stealthy enough that you can easily do this. Yes.
Just looking where he's looking for a couple of minutes. And then just be like, so what are you looking at?
He closes his eyes and inhales for a second. Yeah. Yeah, you really do remind me of somebody. I was mostly trying to see if I could spot any of your shenanigans.
That reminds you of somebody from Noctis?
Yep.
Tell me about them.
I mean, They were a little troublemaker, constantly getting where they weren't supposed to be, trying to dig up literally anything they could, looking for whatever mysterious treasures and trinkets they could figure out how to find. They tended to be able to get anywhere no matter who told them they couldn't, and no matter how hard I tried to keep up with them, somehow they always managed to give me the slip. And when trouble came calling, they typically managed to find a way to dump it at my doorstep, which was fine. I was more than happy to break a few skulls for them.
I woke up on the edge of where Noctis was, in the trees that Soria says were once the protected gardens.
Yeah, that was her favorite hiding place.
Speaking of finding treasures, you have a bunch of shadow monks apparently, and pulls out the stash, and actually looks at it now.
Yep. Oh, hey, you actually managed to find one of their caches. As you open the bag, it's full of snacks. There's like biscuits and cookies inside, but also smoke bombs and throwing stars. Also, some lockpicks and like other tools of the trade.
Very practical stash.
Yeah, I hear they tend to leave those around both as a test to each other and also just a way to have fun.
They're practicing sneaking so much they should also practice trying to find those that sneak.
It seems to be the goal generally. Though I take it you're just better than that.
It would seem.
Well. In any case, found what you wanted?
There are hidden tunnels and passageways, and a lot of them are marked if you know to look for the marks.
Yeah. The shadows are, more than anyone else here, the monastery's defenders. If anything decides it's going to cause a problem, they're usually the first ones to deal with it.
That they're probably fairly good at that, being able to traverse through the back passages that aren't congested with the normal people.
Yep. They've got the run of the place. I've seen them drop out of angles I didn't even realize were there.
I'm sure there's more that I could find, but at the same time, like, unless this place has some secret burial.
No, I don't think this place is built on the graves of the old world. At least not in that respect.
Then the way to actually find stuff is probably to go up.
Probably.
And with that, I step away from him and join the others.
Continues to smoke his cigar. And as you go to rejoin the rest of the party, that's where we're going to end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.